Rick Moranis was once one of Hollywood's most beloved comedy stars. During the 1980s and early 1990s, he became a household name through hit movies like Ghostbusters, Spaceballs, Little Shop of Horrors, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. His unique humor, relatable personality, and memorable performances made him one of the most recognizable faces in family entertainment. But just as his career was reaching new heights, Moranis quietly stepped away from Hollywood. Many fans were surprised and wondered why such a successful actor would leave the spotlight behind. The reason was deeply personal. After losing his wife to cancer in 1991, he decided to focus on raising his children rather than continuing a demanding acting career. Would you walk away from fame, money, and success for your family? For Rick Moranis, the answer was yes. He chose fatherhood over Hollywood, earning the respect of fans around the world. Amanda Bynes was once one of Hollywood's brightest young stars. She first became famous on Nickelodeon's All That before leading her own hit series, The Amanda Show. Her success continued with popular movies like What a Girl Wants, She's the Man, Hairspray, and Easy A, making her one of the most recognizable young actresses of the 2000s. For a time, it seemed like she had everything needed for a long and successful Hollywood career. But as her fame grew, so did the pressures that came with life in the spotlight. In 2010, Amanda surprised fans by announcing that she was stepping away from acting. The decision came after years of pressure, personal struggles, and growing discomfort with life in the spotlight. What happens when success arrives at a young age and becomes overwhelming? Amanda eventually chose a quieter life, focused on her personal well-being, proving that sometimes peace is worth more than fame. Jack Gleason became famous for playing one of television's most unforgettable villains. As King Joffrey Baratheon in Game of Thrones, he delivered a performance so convincing that many viewers struggled to separate the actor from the character. His role earned him recognition and made him one of the most recognizable young stars on television. But after leaving the series, Gleason surprised fans by stepping away from the spotlight. While many expected him to build a major Hollywood career, he chose a different path. Instead of chasing fame, he focused on education, theater, and personal interests away from celebrity culture. His future in Hollywood looked promising. Would you keep chasing success if fame started taking control of your identity? Jack Gleason later returned to acting in selected projects, but he never seemed interested in becoming a Hollywood star, choosing a quieter life instead. Michael J. Fox was once one of the most energetic and beloved stars in Hollywood. During the 1980s and 1990s, he became a household name through Family Ties and the hugely successful Back to the Future trilogy. His quick wit, natural charm, and unforgettable performances made him one of the most recognizable actors of his generation. But behind the success, Fox was facing a challenge that would change his life forever. In 1991, at just 29 years old, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Despite the diagnosis, he continued acting for many years and remained committed to his career. His determination inspired millions of fans around the world. How do you keep moving forward when life suddenly changes your future? Michael J. Fox later stepped away from acting to focus on his health and advocacy work. Today, he is remembered not only as a talented actor, but also as a symbol of courage and resilience. Meg Ryan was once the queen of romantic comedies and one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses. During the 1990s, she became a household name through hit films like When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail. Her warmth, charm, and relatable screen presence made her the face of an entire generation of romantic movies. But as the years passed, Ryan slowly stepped away from the spotlight. While many fans expected her to remain one of Hollywood's biggest stars, she chose a different direction. After spending decades in the public eye, she wanted more privacy and the opportunity to focus on her personal life and family. What happens when the fame people admire no longer feels fulfilling? Meg Ryan later returned to filmmaking as a director and actress, but she never seemed interested in reclaiming the level of celebrity she once had. Instead, she chose a quieter life away from constant attention. Charlie Sheen was once one of the biggest stars on television. After successful roles in films like Platoon, Wall Street, and Major League, he reached an even larger audience through 2.5 Men. At the height of the show's success, he became one of the highest-paid actors on television, earning millions. But behind the fame, personal struggles began attracting more attention than his work. Public controversies, legal issues, and conflicts with the creators of his hit sitcom slowly damaged his reputation. His career soon changed direction. His downfall surprised many fans. Many fans were shocked to see such a successful star lose his place at the top. How far can talent take someone when personal problems start overshadowing success? Charlie Sheen never completely disappeared from public life, but he never regained the level of dominance he once enjoyed. His story shows how quickly fame can change. Sean Connery was one of the most iconic actors in Hollywood history. He became a global star after taking on the role of James Bond, bringing a level of charm and confidence that helped define the character for generations. Beyond Bond, he built an impressive career with acclaimed films like The Untouchables, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, and The Hunt for Red October. But after decades of success, Connery gradually lost interest in the demands of Hollywood. While studios hoped for his return, he preferred spending time away from the spotlight. By the early 2000s, he had largely stepped away from acting and embraced a quieter life. Would you keep working if you had already achieved everything most people dream of? Sean Connery never needed a comeback to protect his legacy. He left Hollywood as one of cinema's most respected stars, proving that sometimes knowing when to walk away is its own kind of success. Renee Zellweger became one of Hollywood's most successful actresses during the late 1990s and early 2000s. She gained worldwide recognition through films like Jerry Maguire, Bridget Jones's Diary, Chicago, and Cold Mountain. Her talent, versatility, and memorable performances earned her critical acclaim and made her one of the most recognizable faces in the industry. But after years of constant work and public attention, Zellweger decided to step away from acting. While many fans assumed her career was slowing down, the reality was very different. She wanted time away from Hollywood and the pressure that came with fame. Would you walk away from success if it meant finding a better balance in life? Renee Zellweger eventually returned to acting and proved she had lost none of her talent. Instead of chasing attention, she came back on her own terms, showing that sometimes a break can be the key to a stronger comeback. Macaulay Culkin became one of the most famous child actors in the world after starring in Home Alone and Home Alone 2. His performance as Kevin McAllister turned him into a global sensation and made him one of the biggest young stars of the 1990s. With his charm, humor, and unforgettable screen presence, it seemed like he was destined for a lifelong Hollywood career. But as his fame continued to grow, the pressures of being a child star became increasingly difficult. While many expected him to dominate Hollywood for years, Culkin gradually stepped away from acting and chose a more private life. What happens when success arrives long before adulthood begins? Macaulay Culkin eventually returned to selected projects and public appearances, but he never pursued the same level of fame that once surrounded him. Instead, he chose a quieter path and a life on his own terms.